Up here at Packers training camp, and one of the big questions, obviously, is life after Jordy Nelson. Now, Jordy came out and spoke with us today. I thought it was interesting because Jordy said, look, I didn't believe it was broke, or as far as the ACL goes, he didn't think it was an ACL injury. He didn't even think he came down on that leg. How weird is that?
Yeah, he said that he came down on the right leg. He was surprised himself by watching tape of the play, that second reception he made against the Steelers, that he thought it would have been the left leg. He was surprised it was his right leg. Had a burning sensation, ran off to the sideline, had no idea it could be as serious as an ACL. And you've heard that from players in the past. I thought it was also interesting to note that, yeah, he confirmed it was his right knee, but he had the off-season surgery on his left hip. He doesn't think that the two are related at all. He'll have surgery within the next couple of weeks when the swelling goes down, but he's confident because it happened here in the second week of the preseason, he should be okay for 2016. But he'll be 31 years old then.
And the good news is there's no other structural damage. It's just the ACL, and I say it's just because it could have been a lot worse. Now, the question becomes, Vegas says the Packers go down a notch, and we look at the odds, and everybody says, well, now are they really a Super Bowl contender without Jordy Nelson? My question is, look, you've got the number one quarterback in the league. We've seen quarterbacks make wide receivers. This would be probably more incumbent upon Aaron Rodgers. Just, I don't want to say step up his game, but it's up to him to make Devontae Adams better, Miles White better, Jeff Janis better, Ty Montgomery better, right?
Well, yeah, you go down a notch when you lose Jordy Nelson. You do. Does that mean that the season's over for the Packers? Not at all, but everyone has to step it up. It sounds cliche, but you had a shot at the Super Bowl with Jordy Nelson, and that combination that Aaron Rodgers depends on. That's his number one receiver, his go-to guy, the guy that he trusts the most. And also, you were waiting for Ty Montgomery to develop and come along by October to get more snaps, to play on special teams. But now there's this urgency. Ty Montgomery goes from rookie, who's probably going to do special teams and return kicks, to out with the number one offense today. And Jeff Janis, who's got the exact same body type as Jordy Nelson, but a little bit faster and a little bit taller, still though is having a tough time running routes. Admitting today at his locker he's still quite not on the same page as Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers runs a complex offense, and it took Jordy Nelson a couple of years to learn it, to be in sync. The same with Randall Cobb. They started out on special teams and got some snaps, but now these guys are thrust into that role, and I think Miles White, a guy who's been here 3 years, he might have more trust with Aaron Rodgers, even though he hasn't had that much experience, than Jeff Janis, who's here in his second year. But I thought it was very interesting that today they put the rookie Ty Montgomery out ahead of the second-year guy, Jeff Janis.
The other question is going to be with the young guys. We know that with a guy like Jermichael Finley, Aaron Rodgers said, okay, let's get on the same page. We'll start studying on a Friday night before we start working out on Saturdays, and then we go into the game and we're fresh. Does he start doing that with some of these young guys to get everybody up to speed, or at least up to his level?
Absolutely. And when you get into the red zone offense, he'll be more dependent this year on Richard Rodgers. That's a go-to guy, particularly with that height when you've got a shortened field. The other thing is you got to pick it up on special teams and on defense as well. And we have not seen any, but we've seen some great practices here, and in these first two preseason games, some guys in the secondary flashing. We still haven't found an identity amongst the linebackers. We'll have outside linebackers are all the names that you're familiar with Julius Peppers, with Mike Neal, with Nick Perry. Andy Malumba has stepped it up. Inside linebacker, you're really going to depend on Sam Barrington to be that inside linebacker alongside Clay Matthews. But to back them up, that's still a wide open question, and going to be some difficult decisions when they get the roster from 75 to 53 in the next couple of weeks.
Big game coming up this Saturday night. Thanks for the
good Eagles team.
Against a really good Eagles team. That's going to bring a lot to the table, specifically when you talk about testing that defense. So I'm excited to see that. That's it from Packers training camp. Thanks for watching.
Awesome.